Okay, I think I'm ready now.
Ooh. Were you hitting someone in mines?
No, I was trying to put the stage up on YouTube or whatever, and it was giving me a weird little message, and I don't know, I'm kind of newish to putting it on to YouTube, so live. So just wanted to make sure did it right. But it looks like we're up and live, and got the chat in the window, got everybody here on display. Um,
Nice.
It's a it's a big juicy praying mantis Fang has there.
I know.
I love praying
Likely
mantises, man.
female because usually females are much larger.
Oh, could you imagine if humanity operated like the praying mantis? That would not be good for the males of our species.
Yeah,
No
no.
comment. Better I make no comment. I've been tempted.
I don't know why, but I like mentioning everybody's name that's here. Like I like being like, "Hey, what's up? Hoy 122. Thanks for being here. Mowgli, Dez, AC, Delulu, Felix, Snoop and Wolf, Kyle, Fang, Dank, Ghostly." I don't know why. I just like giving people recognition for being here. Like, we see you. How's it going?
Funny. It reminds me of a cartoon when it wasn't a cartoon, it was a kids show. And she had like the spyglass. I see Jake and Soul.
Yeah.
She would do it at the end of I don't know which one that was called, but it's like I mean, I'm dating myself now, but yeah, it was an old kids
Okay.
program.
Yeah. Well, it is 15 UTC. Should we get started?
Let's roll.
All right. Hope everyone's having a good morning or day wherever you are in the world so far. And like to welcome you to the Ants official live stage today. Appreciate you joining us once again. We have some new topics to speak with you about. So if you listen through to the whole, thing, we'll be dropping those in here and there. But more importantly, we want to know what you want to talk to us about. So if you want to just like raise your hand, click the little thing at the bottom of the screen. We can talk about, shift the conversation in the direction of something you want to talk about. You can also just type whatever you want to say in the chat, the stage live chat section. If you don't know where that is, it's like right above the live stage channel. And remember to add your in-game ID to the in-game ID channel so Fairy can give you a nice little gift for joining us today. And if I can, I'll try to find another code for you guys, but we'll see. I know there's a lot on Facebook and stuff out there that maybe people already have redeemed. So without further ado, who's leading today? Is it you, Jake?
Yes, I believe so.
All right.
So I think there was a massive update that got announced last night, but I think we will start with the nice and light and sweet side of things with the new cat anthill skin, who is, unfortunately, the cat is very sad because it looks like he dropped an ice cream. But there are some various different skins you can get. Thank you, Nim, including the March skin and the Avatar frame. And
man, that's like
you want to go ahead?
5,000. I was just gonna say that's an expensive skin. It's like $5,000.
Oh, here we go. Here we go with the $5,000 skin.
It's a $5,000 skin.
It's not a $5,000 skin. Okay. It is a nice little free bonus if you buy 5,000 in ant coin. Okay. So you're not actually buying the skin, you're getting ant coin value that you may or may not spend. So for those who like to like save up um and Yuta crying Garfield because ice cream fell on the ground, 5K ant coin skin. So, but yeah, you buy the ant coin, they give you the skin as a bonus for spending that much in one time. But also, for those of you that don't know this, those players that are buying that skin are also getting 500, excuse me, $500 worth of freebies in packs because of their SVIP status or whatever. So they also have additional benefits that they gain from having that amount. So, you know, maybe a player might spend that over the course of a year, or maybe a player might spend that over the course of a couple months, or who knows what. But yeah, it's a large investment for sure, but it is not like you're buying the ant skin, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you
Okay,
get
fine. Forget
five.
it. Okay, all right. I give up. Bug, we'll just call it a 5K ant skin.
All right. Either way, but
I
I
don't need
It's a
was
to.
reward.
I was
It's
doing
a
the
reward for
I was doing the
spending.
math. If you get so it's not really a 5,000 skin. It's like a 4,500 plus they give you 5% off. So it's like a 4,250 skin.
It's
40.
actually it's actually even less than that in a lot of places. So I'm
Okay.
not going to go into great detail, but there are other programs at play that give you an even much greater discount. So
Oh, good to know.
So there are ways. Also, another thing that was out this last week was some newer packages in the treasure store from, or sorry, in the cave exploration store from the underground cave, I believe it's called, an event. There was some, I believe there were new packages with the LP, with the Black Knight, and with the Emerald Jewel for a reduced price, and it looks like you got a free awakening if you got one of those 3 ants.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. And I think a much bigger news that came out recently was this update that got released late last night for some of us, early in the morning for others.
I woke up to that news. It's kind of interesting. I do have some devil's advocate with that one though. It's gonna be kind of bad, I think. But we'll see.
Well, we don't like bad, but I'll start breaking it down. New content and optimizations. New insect growth plan is now live. Day 30 rewards have been significantly upgraded. Choose from a 5-star PM, we're going to call it, a 5-star Deadleaf Mantis, or a 5-star TB. Note, if the old version of the insect growth plan was not activated before the update, it will be replaced by the new version. If the old version was activated before the update, you can continue to claim the rewards. Meanwhile, the new version is also available for purchase. So that's very similar to the last time they have updated this plan. I believe twice now since I've been playing, they've updated it.
You guys are so lucky to have these insects for $25. You have no idea.
Oh yeah. And then to still put them into your main insect anyways still hurts, but not as much as when it was like $500.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest part for a lot of people in this new update shopping list that has come out. Added S3 season special ants, CR, Saharan Silver, and MC, and S4 special ants, Red Velvet, White Crystal, and Rainbow Wings, and removed the old Mimicry Master, Reap Master, and Chicory Master, Ruby Slender, Crimson Fragger, and the Dusty Lurker. Wow, that feels good. I mean, it kind of hurts that you won't be able to get the Masters from the Supreme Hatch pool anymore, but
That's kind of
I'm
my
loving.
worry.
You'll be able to get them from the ant selective ant pack for $25, I'm sure. If they're just gonna swap those out,
Yeah.
because you can get just
I mean,
about
like,
any other ant that way.
I'm not really worried for players in older servers like we're in, kind of, but
Oh,
or even Jake for that matter, to be honest with you. It's more the newer servers not having the masters, because even till this day, I utilize masters in my lineups when it comes to certain tasks. Like especially in AE when you want the troops to march really fast to
oh
the
yeah. Hmm.
agaves or whatever. So I like not having an ability to get those masters through Supreme in newer servers. That's going to be kind of unless they do something different. But my understanding is everything's the same across the game now. So um, I don't know. So I don't play in the
Yeah, but
newer servers. Maybe
you
someone
can
that's
can't you get them in the advanced hatch pool though? Like some of them?
You
you
can,
yeah,
but
they
it's
typically
very
do.
rare.
Catch rate to get an advanced is like slim to none. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very hard to get an orange ant out of the advanced hatch pool.
Yeah,
So
and even if you did get an orange ant from the advanced eggs, there are a lot other worse orange ants that you could and probably will get before the Masters as well.
Hmm.
yeah. You know what I hope they do. And obviously we'll have to wait to see after the update, but I hope they put those in the like redeemable section where you use the eggs, the where you can like every week or every 2 weeks they reset that little store that has
Oh
the,
yeah. We were talking
you know
about
what I'm saying?
they should add.
If they did that with the masters, then that would be totally acceptable, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you could gather them at your convenience.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Because I mean, here's the bottom line: is those masters are super important in early game, right? Like they're like the best you can get in early game, and then on top of that, they're useful even in later games. So you have faster march speed. They're like the only three ants that, I have one of each of those ants in a troop, so that when I'm collecting on AE, my troop can zoom across the map pretty quickly. A
Hmm.
lot quicker. But so I hope that there's some sort of way to get those ants that are relatively easy now that they're removing them from the Supreme Hatch rule. But I love the fact that they're putting season 4 ants in there. That's like just absolutely amazing,
Yeah. I don't know if they accidentally
and
already
good
put the
and
hatch.
good season 3 ants too. Like
Hmm.
Nim, you're probably gonna get your SSAs now that you were seeking.
Maybe. Oh, can only
And
hope.
and before the was it Bug? Was it you that sent the message? Or
The
someone?
hatch rates.
No, that it's coming out before the 10 for 9.
I don't recall.
Oh, someone sent me a message that. Oh, no, 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 it was someone else. But so one of my friends sent me a message that like at least they are upgrading the hatch pool for Supreme Eggs before the 9 for 10 event. So
Oh yeah. So
because
that's nice of
he
them.
knows I'm not gonna call him out because I don't know if he wants me to, but if he my buddy knows how upset I was that the first time they introduced season ants into the Supreme Hatch pool was like literally the week after they had the 10 for 9 event, and I was just like so upset because I'm the type that saves the supreme eggs for months until they have one of those events. And then I go wild and hatch 700, 800 eggs or whatever to gain not only whatever ants I was seeking, but also like material to upgrade other ants and stuff. So I thought that was just like the ultimate troll at the time. Like, oh, right after we blew through 800, 700, like everyone, a lot of people either hatch regularly their supreme eggs, right? Like don't save them and just hatch them. So it wouldn't affect them at all. Or those that save, like blew through all their eggs that they had saved, and then boom, oh, now we're offering season ants in it. And so at least they're doing this before the 10 for 9 event.
That is nice of them. Considerate of them.
Yes, very considerate. And to my friend who is definitely listening in the audience right now, thank you for reminding me of the dastardly act you pulled on us last time.
Oreo. It's funny. They put S4 ants at 0.0001 chance of hatching. I don't know, man. I wonder if they accidentally let me copy and put this in the chat again. They might have already released the hatch rates for S4. Oh, that didn't work. If you scroll up, if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see that like SSA, the CR, and the MR are already in the hatch pool even before the update. They show the stats of hatching.
That's for the explored season hash. Like I think those are for the eggs that you get at the end of season, not the
Oh.
supreme eggs.
Okay.
I think so. At least that's what it
It'll probably
says.
be the same. It'll
Yeah.
probably be the same as the other ones. I mean,
you're
they
right.
don't.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
I thought the same thing when I was scrolling through there. I was like, it's already here. What do they mean?
Yeah.
So basically, that means I still won't hatch an SSA.
Oh, you will.
You will. You will.
Now it'll be even more important to do that little trick of saving supreme eggs for the 10 for 9.
I don't even know how many I have currently.
Does anyone else have a theory? Like I have this theory because I buy a lot of eggs or have over the years, and like I think they release the ants in hourly increments. Like I think the hatch pool switches up every hour. Like CAs.
You sound like people in my alliance.
Like so when that event happens, I don't blow them all in the same hour. Like I'll do like, 60, 90, and then I'll wait till the next hour and 60, 90, and I'll get like completely different ants.
Yeah. I mean, I do that event slowly over the course of the day to hit colony action, so I never really blow through all of them either.
True, yeah. That's
so I'm doing it every 2 hours, really, not every hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about free diamonds and bonus stuff on colony actions. Try to hit as many as I can in a day.
Yeah, that's what I try to do too, but I do know people doing similar things as what you're saying, Bug, or even people that had like a plethora of eggs, testing it out and hatching ants when it's not even a CA, just like hatching 10 eggs or something to see if they get more golds on an off hour and stuff like that.
Well, I have friends of mine who are convinced that like it's like on season or whatever, they'll hatch their season eggs off day because they think they have a better chance, and who knows? I mean,
I'm one of those.
Obviously,
I think I have a better chance on like a Sunday or a Saturday of getting like a really, really rare one.
Yeah, like a bison.
Right.
The ant that has evaded me. I just want one copy of bison and I will be through the roof happy. Steppenwolf chooses it as free day. Yeah, I know, I'm not going to hatch it, so of course not.
Can always hope for a bison.
That's what I hatched this season.
Good for you.
Ooh, ooh.
Let me tell you how much I love the clover.
Oh,
Ugh.
You-
I don't
Clover
think
is
anybody
my,
loves the clover.
your
clover
favorite.
is my absolute favorite. Like, I'm telling you right now, if the number one thing that I have pushed for months and months and months is to get rid of clover, period, and make it selective instead of
Mm-hmm.
because I like just see so much opportunity to make the entire community in this game happy and even make the devs happy. And I don't understand why they have made it random instead of selective. There's like so many positives for them to do it and almost zero negatives for them to do it. So it just boggles my, that is the one change I would love to see in this game more than any other change. So, but we'll see. I'm going to keep fighting the good fight on that one.
Yeah, I would
That's going to
love
be
to.
right.
I would love to see that. Even I would still buy 800 eggs if
Mm-mm.
if they change that. If I needed ants of like
So that goes along to my point. Okay. Like
right.
I've talked to some of the biggest players in this game. Okay. And to them, it's a joke that S3 ants are in that are an option in Clover. Number one, it should all be S4 ants. There should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like it's totally crazy that there's S3 ants in that Clover pool. Okay, that's number one. Okay, makes absolutely no sense to anybody that that's the case. Number two, okay, the 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 fact that like very rarely anybody gets the ant that they're looking for randomly in that Clover exchange makes it so that like Clover is not a big deal whatsoever. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Just
like, oh boy, I get some meat, or like
yeah.
it's not a big benefit to winning, which they should make the benefits for winning a lot greater, and that would be one of them is if you could have a selectable clover, you'd be like, oh man, I'm really gonna push to win this event, you know?
So what happened this season for me, just out of as many of you know, I am shooter and guardian focused, really. So I had a mimic copy that I'm like, oh, I'll offer this because, even though I wouldn't mind upgrading my mimic, there's more important ants for me to get that are more towards my main lineups, right? So I offered the mimic just to get a carpenter ant that I already have, I, I think 5 or 6 dupes of. So like I could take carpenter to 8 stars if I had enough exotics or whatever. And it offered me a carpenter S3 ant for a mimic S4, which was just salt on the wound. Okay. Yeah, definitely amplified my hatred for the Clover system as it is currently in play. But
See, I don't very much have this problem because I don't win a lot of seasons, so I don't have a lot of clovers to begin with.
well, let me. Okay, so here's my point, Jake. Okay, so and I want your opinion on this. Okay, so do you think that if Clover was selectable and you knew Yeah, so you're on a team right now that you're playing with a bunch of friends and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think you and your friends would be like, "Hey, we haven't won in like 5 seasons or whatever. Now Clover all of a sudden is selectable, and you know that if you're on a winning team, your chances of gaining the ant that you want or whatever are better. Are you going to A, try harder to recruit more active players so your team can be more successful, or B, search out a team within your range that may take you or your group of friends or whatever? And C, do you think you would fight a little bit harder, you know, log in a little bit more often, make sure that you're doing everything possible to try to win an event, making it a bit more competitive so that, like, hey, this is something that's worth trying to win the event?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if it was more of an absolute reward and not just a gamble reward, then I think everybody would try harder for sure.
I'm telling you, I think those that would be sitting on the fence of like, hey, do I, buy a little bit more fungi? Do I buy some stamina? I really want this ant. Those, so for the devs, I think they'll actually make more money because people are going to be more uh, pushing towards winning an event. Whereas like now, I'll be brutally honest with you. The clover being given to winning rewards versus losing rewards, it really is zero big deal. It's no big deal at all. I mean, like, the rewards are basically the same. Showing up to an event, doing the event, whether you get winning or losing rewards, honestly, it's the same thing. Like, there's no difference. So I think it would push teams to try a little bit harder to win the event, because I think that's something that, how did I put it the other day, Nim? Separates the.
You said the girls from the
Women.
I can't remember now.
Yeah, I thought.
But oh, I know.
Sorry to delve off topic here, guys, but yeah, that's so.
No problem. If you want change, you gotta talk about the change. And speaking of some other changes that are coming soon, they have optimized. Oh, sorry, I just lost where I was. They have optimized, yeah, insect conversion. When performing insect conversion, you can freely choose insect star level conversion, insect level conversion, or insect star and level simultaneous conversion. So I think that will make it a little bit easier if you get a new insect and want to try to swap over the stars right away. It looks like there's going to be 3 easy buttons and avoid some confusion that I know definitely happened to some people when they tried to swap over their insects. There's a lot of different buttons to hit and it could be confusing. They also
Wait,
says,
can I ask a question about that? So is that saying that, like, if you have a level 62 insect, you want it to go to level 60, you can revert it back down to 60?
I think
it's
so.
not.
I think it's
Yeah,
giving you the option to do a lot of different things. Like,
Yeah.
well, it doesn't say per se if you can just say like degenerate the level of one insect. It says you can convert either the star level, convert the insect level, or convert both the insect and the star level at once. So
Okay.
that's a change that a bunch of people have been asking for, because like they didn't necessarily want it to go down to 0 when they did the conversion or whatever. Like,
yeah, like
both.
if you could,
Giving you the option, because sometimes people don't have enough of one material versus another material to do it. So they wanted to be able to like maintain a certain level and be able to convert some of the level to another insect, even though
and
they're
it only,
converting the stars. Because now, once you converted it, it like forces you to convert both level and star level.
Yeah, and it only really makes sense because if you have like your pro insect leveled up higher than your other two, and you got a new insect, you wouldn't necessarily want your formerly best insect to be right down to 0. You'd probably want it to be one of your other high level ones, like your second or third line insect that's leveled up as well, hopefully.
Yeah, or like if I eventually switch from carrier main to shooter main or something and I want to swap the levels on my pro insect, it seems like this would allow me to do that. Just switch it from like a carrier insect to a shooter insect, and then just basically like swap levels.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So hopefully some good things to come there. And the next one is optimized display and text for some amplification system interfaces. I really hope they remove that little red dot in the amplification Evo tree. Because I don't know about anybody else, but that red dot has been making me nervous for quite some days now.
Yeah.
I don't like the red dots.
Makes me think I'm supposed to do something, but then I click on it and I'm like, oh no, I'm not supposed to do something. All right, that's fine. I don't. At least it's in the Evo screen, right? You have to be in Evo to see it, right? It's not just like, well, I don't know. I guess I technically have a red dot on my Evo now, anyways. I just feel like it's always been that way.
Yeah, I think that's why it doesn't bug me quite as much, because I think I've gotten used to it on the Evo tree having a red dot there for not having an Evo running. But I don't know. The first time the amp stuff came out, I swapped all of my crystals into fragments because of the red dot, and I just wanted to get it away.
I'm desensitized to the red dot.
Go away, red dot.
You know, I haven't
even
even pushed anything in amp. I haven't pushed any of the amp stuff yet.
Must be nice to be that strong.
Outside of the outside of the stuff to get that event that they had going on. That's the only things I've done so far. Because we just got back to the thing. I'm trying to save up material so I can use it on building day.
Yeah,
Get some
hopefully you can
SPS points.
get all the way to 9th clam on the building day with the amp stuff. That would be really cool.
Although I made a big boo-boo, yes. I on select day, I had it set for gathering, and I forgot to send my gatherers when we went back to with the change back to the server and all that stuff. So I didn't pre-gather, and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna hit 9 shells today. I got scared and switched to culty, and just barely squeaked by with the 9th shell. So I was happy.
Oh, good.
So,
It is satisfying when you just barely get the 9th shell.
yeah.
Gives you some gray hairs maybe, but it's satisfying when you get it.
It did give me some gray hairs, that's for sure.
I think we've had one building day where we could use amp materials so far. Is that right?
Yeah.
So this will be our second one coming up.
But we were on season, and I still like the way I play out the season is I don't really I save the enhancement materials that I gain throughout the week and utilize it on building day, so that way I can hit the 9 shells.
Yeah, I was able to do that later in the season and the last week, which was the first week of amp building day. One thing I noticed between the amp materials in SVS, it seems like you get a lot more on building day than on Evo day, even though it's only like 18,000 versus 14,000 points per amp material that you use on building or Evo day respectively. Somehow building seems to jump you up through the shells a lot higher than Evo. Has anyone else experienced that?
Well, is there a lower threshold on? I don't really pay attention. Like,
Well, because
there might be a lower
using...
threshold to hit 9 shells.
Yeah, maybe.
On building day.
Yeah, maybe that's what it
Because
is.
like on I think on Gathering Day, one of them's like 187 million or something like that, and then a couple of them, like one of them's like 300 million points or whatever.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there's a big spread on the days that you can, whatever. So it's probably on Evo Day, it's you have to hit a higher number. That's why it doesn't seem like you're blowing through it as fast.
I see. Yeah, that you're probably right. So I'm saving all my amp or my mystic crystals in the mine so that I can have, I think you need like 2 million mystic crystals and you can buy out the amp crystals from the mine store. So
Yeah.
I'll have like the max amount available from the mine store. Maybe I'll buy a few packs and whatever's necessary to get me up to ninth shell, and then I'll kind of stop there. Um,
Yeah. I
I'll,
mean, that's my plan for building day. That's why I haven't been spending anything, right? Like, I'm hoarding it so that during the time that you're on the server, I'll spend towards building day. And then when I go on to season, I plan on not really investing into the amp system, just so I can hoard more materials so that way I can get
yeah,
through building days to try to get 9 shells every building day. Evo, I'm not worried about so much because that's like I have other Evos that I can use creature remains for. But I'm gonna tell you this, okay? Utilizing Evo to hit 9 SVS shells is going to be a hell of a lot easier now, because when you get to the point where you're uh, evoing up some of these, like if you're into the T10 tree or you're into um, the enhancement, the epic and what is it? What's the other one? Epic and
excellent.
excellent. Yeah, when you're into excellent and epic enhance, those have huge freaking creature remain requirements, and so like a lot of times when you get to the forks in the road where there's like a stopgap, you can switch over to using the amp material to hit those 9 shells. So that it's kind of an unintended, I think, or maybe it is intended, but it's kind of a like another path that you can take that uses a different material, so that way you don't get stuck where you like there's been times I couldn't do an Evo because I haven't gathered enough creature remains throughout the week to be able to even initiate a certain Evo because of such high creature remain requirements. So I like now that if you kind of leave you have more of a path that you can leave open to where, okay, I don't have enough creature remains this week. I'm going to work on the amp Evo. Also, on top of that, I don't think you can ever run into that problem again, because if you're working on amp Evo for a week or two or whatever, that's just creature remains that wind up banking, that you're not going to get to the point where you're stuck on a creature remain Evo ever in the future. So
Hmm.
bear that in mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
it's a great help.
because I think if you hit all of the 9 shells, isn't it like something like almost 60,000 creature remains you can gain in a week?
Something like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, like the highest required Evo that I've seen so far is around 84,000. And so if you work a couple weeks on amp Evo and are able to hit 9 shells without spending creature remains, you should have enough of a bank of creature remains that you should be able to go through any type of Evo in order to hit 9 shells. Obviously there's players out there that are like just trying to blow through the Evo as fast as possible, and they may surpass 9 shells on Evo Day, but I think for the most part, players are kind of a 9 shell and stop when it comes to Evo at a certain point because they already know that there's a huge requirement for some of the Evo that they're chasing, especially when you're chasing T10. I mean, I think that's like it's very hard to get that. So just having the secondary path that uses a different material is really good, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I love how they kind of did this. I just am a bit. I'm probably a bit more scared that the requirements are going to jump pretty significantly for the amount of material that you need, and that's part of the reason why I'm playing it very conservatively and just trying to hoard material until we get a better grasp. And to be honest with you, it's great to see players like Bug doing all the dirty work of charting it all out so that way I can just follow the charts later. Thanks, Bug.
Yeah.
Keep pushing those buildings in Evo, please. Please.
I'm just helping showing the requirements, but it's all Burr. He's doing all the cool chart. I suck at charts. My charts look ugly, but Burr's charts are awesome.
Yeah, but I mean it's very helpful, right? Like it gives me and I'm sure a lot of players out here, if you ever want to share those charts here on stage or whatever, obviously go ahead because they're very helpful to plan for those of us that kind of like to pre-plan our routes and what we're going to do. The only thing that sucks is I always find it hard to calculate like how much I need to spend, in order to hit 9 shells. That's a little bit more difficult to calculate because you have too many factors like, oh, did I pop a berry, an advanced berry or whatever? Am I getting X amount extra points and stuff? So like I know on certain Evos that are, 50,000 plus creature remains, you pop that one Evo an hour after reset and you've hit 9 shells for the week. So if you do it under an advanced berry or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's harder to tell with the amp crystals, whether on building day, how many you have to spend in order to, we'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would just suggest having tonight at reset 100 stamina on all lines now that we're not in season, and once reset,
it doesn't matter.
Once Warzone starts, then you get
doesn't matter
for using
but
stamina.
it's 4 hours. It's 4 hours after reset today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so wait for the
at 4 hours after reset. You should have full stamina, so that way you can.
Yeah.
Oh
no, I'm just saying if you want to really just to play it safe, have 100 4 hours after reset on all lines, and then shoot them off right away. Empty your stamina out. If assuming you don't have any buildings to upgrade, right? Like me, I don't have any, so I'm gonna, use all my stamina right away. See how far that gets me. Upgrade some buildings.
5 shells.
See how far that gets me. After the
5 shells.
Yeah. Well,
5 is the most. If you play it ideally, spending all stamina on the weeks that are 4 hours, right? Where it's 4 hours after reset. On the weeks that it's 30 minutes after, you can usually hit 6 shells by only spending stamina. But on the weeks that are 4 hours after reset, I think you can only hit 5 shells.
So it's comfortably. I have to probably hit all the amp crystals in the mines, and then I probably will have to wind up spending a bit to hit 9th shell in terms of buying amp crystals.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'd rather spend a few bucks and hit 9th shell and get all the amps and amp up and all that fun stuff. Hopefully I can amp up my Evo building to
I think you guys are all wrong about this
3.
season, Evo. Dank, just so you know.
I don't think so. Look, that leak that you helped us find is a season Evo tree with creature remains, no amp crystals.
I know, but that wasn't a leak. That was
Not a leak. I mean
really a different game.
the in the Red China version.
I know, I understand. But what I'm trying to say is this game doesn't play out as that game does. And they've already announced that season 12 ants are coming in the next season. That's part of the update that they released yesterday. So that means those season troops are going to be released. Season 12 or T12s are going to be in the next season that we go into. So I think it's going to work the same way as it worked when S11s come out, that if you have assault soldier ants open, just like if you have T10, it'll allow you to enhance the
Sure.
S12 ants.
That
So
makes sense.
I don't know if it's going to be attached to Evo. I think it's going to be more how the T10. So once you have assault soldier ants opened, you'll be able to enhance the S12 ants. I don't necessarily think it'll be tied to Evo, because that's going to be kind of, I mean, maybe, who knows, but it's going to be kind of because we already know that this current amplification system and Evo is, in order to get to assault soldier ants, it's going to be approximately for those of you not spending in the game at all, so free to play players, it's going to be about a 1 year journey, right? Didn't we calculate that?
Yeah, I think so. About a year if you're not spending. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then there's more Evo after that in that same tree, right? Like the assault soldier ants are only at the halfway mark. So, to open up another tree that takes the amp material in evolution,
That's what I'm
that's going to be
saying.
geared towards season
It's not
troops
gonna take.
only.
Yeah, I think it's not gonna take amp material if they do it. It would take just creature
Oh, yeah,
remains.
maybe, but that's
Uh,
not how this game typically plays out.
yeah, I
I mean,
also think since
we've never seen them go backwards. Like once they change a material, like almost, I think that all future Evo will require amp material. I don't think creature remains are going to be even an option anymore on any Evo.
Hmm. Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I mean, okay, let's think about this. Okay. Um, for the biggest players in this game, okay, I don't know of any that have even gone through Epic Enhance. Not even close. How about that?
Okay.
I think 50-60% through Epic Enhance is the most any player in this game has gone through.
Okay.
All right. So, and that's been out 6 months now, I think, maybe longer, right?
Hmm.
So you're talking at least another year of creature remain investment into an evolution for the top players in this game. Okay. So I think that there's already enough evolution where they've covered themselves for at least a year before they would have to release another type of Evo that requires creature remains. And then they've already come out with this amp system. So I think future Evo is all going to be amp crystals, fragments, or whatever.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Could be. Because our games are different. The Red China is not our game or our international version. So they could go any direction with it, and they always usually like to juke us, right? They want us to think they're going one way, and then they go the other way.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it might be interesting to have another choice in the Evos to spend your creature remains, but I don't think it's a likely possibility, but it could happen, I guess.
so here's the thing: as they're chatting about it now, there will probably be once folks reach the end of the AMP Evos, but we're a very long way from that even happening because like for the average player, it's going to take 12 months or whatever to get to assault soldier ants, and then you can assume it's another 12 months after that to get to the end of that evo. So even those that are blowing through it, let's say like heavy pay to win players, typically they introduce it when like the top players that are buying everything, right? When they hit the end, that's when a release of new evo tends to come out because they're already X amount of months ahead of the pack, right? Because they're purchasing so many materials or whatever in order to do it. Now, in the case of amp material, it's limited. So like everyone's kind of on an even keel on those that spend, right? So if they reach this, let's say at the 4 or 5 month mark, okay? If they reach let's say a player is able to maximize getting every single item for free and purchasing the packs and everything, and let's say they get to assault soldier ants at the 4 month mark, that means that, or 5 month mark, that means it's going to be easily another 6 or 7 months before they can finish that evo because it's limited, whereas creature remains are not limited. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
like creature remains, you can purchase packs unlimited. Okay, it's not a great value. Most players are not doing that. Even the top whales are not, spending a ton on creature remains because you're getting negligible returns for investment, if that makes any sense, right? To buy 4,800 creature remains at $100 is a lot when you need 80,000 creature remains to go through the next thing, and you're earning 64,000 or whatever a week anyway for free. So it's most whales that do spend a lot of money in this game are not investing in creature remains, to be honest with you. I mean, like, so there's not a really big rush. But yeah,
They're not cheap.
no. So, but yeah, it uses creature remains as it's shown in the picture you just posted. So,
But that's not our version, so who knows? I mean,
so we'll see.
yeah.
Only time will tell, I guess. There are a few more things on this update list that came out earlier today. The last one in the new content and optimizations is optimized display for some game features and event interfaces. So I guess we'll have to wait and see to see exactly what that entails. Then there are a list of season adjustments as well. With the addition of new season level 12 soldier ants, seasons will receive corresponding updates and adjustments. The following adjustments will take effect starting from the seasons that begin their sign-up period on August 25th and later. So this is exactly what Soul was just talking about with Bug. There are going to be some level 12 soldier ants, and presumably these will be what are defending the colonies, so it should make everything a little bit more difficult. And difficult can be nice, because I think getting colonies has been sort of stagnant, like it's been very equal for everybody, even if you're not a hardcore player. You can pretty much get the same colonies as many other players at the same time. So I think this will only further the competition a little bit more and make it nicer. What do you guys think about the level 12 soldier ants?
Yeah, I mean, naturally they're coming out with assault soldiers. So like at some point, players are going to have these in their inventory, and I think I've seen players able to hit, level 9 nodes right from the rip of entering the season. Maybe a level 10. So with T10s, that's pretty impressive. So having them able to
The way I'm reading this though is they're going to be season 12s, T12s. So
yeah. So
you're gonna be
what I'm
2 tiers lower.
what's that?
So you're gonna be 2 tiers lower with T10 starting off. Like so, I think hitting an 8 might be, or a 9 might be really tough.
Hard. Yeah, until you get the assault soldier ants.
Yeah.
Right. So it's almost a way of maintaining the current situation, right? Where like Steppenwolf just mentioned, he got level 9s as soon as he landed on the event. If they're being guarded by season 12 ants, he's probably going to have to drop down to 8s, like it was, probably months ago for him.
And I'll probably have to drop down to like 6 or 7.
Exactly.
And other people 5 or 4. And so instead of creating a level 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 node, this kind of solves that problem.
Correct. So
The thing I'll be curious about with these 12s is, because I'm assuming you can't enhance them unless you have the assault soldiers. What is the healing costs on these? How is it going to affect fungi? Like, what does all that look like? The mechanics of that sort of stuff in behind. And I also wonder if the ants that you get, like, when you complete milestones, you get ants as rewards. I wonder if those will be now the old T11s we would get.
So I think you're going to be able to enhance season 12s if you have or if you have T10s unlocked, because that's what it says right now. If you unlock it, you get to enhance season ants. So maybe there's something extra special you get if you have assault soldier ants, but I think you'll still be able to enhance them with T10s unlocked. Unless they redo this message in the T10 tree after the update. Because like I just literally unlocked T10s the other day, and so I took a screenshot of this and I go, oh okay, so I can. And then now they have this update. Well, we're gonna have season 12 ants, but still it says in the Evo tree, well, okay, if you have T10 unlocked, you can update or enhance the season ants.
Yeah, they may not change the threshold for needing assault soldier ants. Or ghostlies. Yeah, they could rename them to assault T12s or something.
Yeah, you could be like enhanced assault. Just keep adding on like different buffs they have.
A whole different thing instead of enhanced. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's some unanswered sort of, what does that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered. We'll have to like experience firsthand.
Yeah. So take that in consideration when you're choosing a season. There will be some new game mechanics, so that might, weigh on your decision of where you want to take your alliance.
I really hope my alliance decides to go to Vast Jungle, and I really hope that my alliance
It's Red Camp.
Gets Red Camp. Oh yeah. I need to
note to self: don't go to Vast Jungle.
I need to recoup some. I am not a decision maker, so don't take that as any type of consideration. But I just, on a personal level, I would love to see that because I want to recoup some teleports from last season. So I like being able to teleport for free all over the area of,
I've never been Red Camp in Vast Jungle.
Let me tell you something. Red Camp in Vast Jungle is the absolute best if you want to start saving teleports. It is the absolute
You can't pick
best.
it though.
What's that?
I said, but you
No,
can't
I
pick
know
it
it's
though. So
random. It's randomly assigned. You can request it, but you never know if you're going to get it. But when you do get it, it is definitely a teleport saving scenario because you teleport for free in your initial area, the tree area, and the unselected area of your camp. Because there's two teams that are assigned to red camp, so you wind up, like having your area teleport for free, the tree area, and whichever area your campmate doesn't select. So you're really only spending teleports if you teleport into your campmate's area, which is like often not the case at all, right? Like you're very rarely, unless you have a very aggressive blue camp that's pushing only into the area of your campmate, and you have to like teleport over there to support defense in their area. But yeah, for the most part, you're teleporting for free throughout the event, so it's very nice, very very nice. I almost that's another change I would love to see in the game. I almost think that like all the events should have like certain like environmental zones should be free teleport, and
Mhm.
your camp's environmental zone should be free teleport along with the initial area and stuff. But
I think it should be free teleports during like server battles too.
Oh yeah,
Like right now, that would free teleports be golden right now.
Oh, I'd love that. Just go
Oh.
around and hitting all their colonies.
Mm-hmm. Colonies, get closer marches to
Have you guys
squirters, all
been-
that stuff.
how is the addition of this is like the first where a majority of players are now on server because the seasons are over and the chat is open for the Warzone. Are you seeing activity in there or not really?
Tiny bit. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, a tiny bit.
someone was saying, anyone want to shred soldier ants for resources like from the other server? And someone said, yeah, like I do. So other than that, it's just I've seen some people put the watering thing, but I don't know. Does that still not work? Watering the pea from. Let me try it.
I think it does now.
Okay.
I think it does now.
Okay, cool.
But I would like to see though, because I would like to see it to be how you can choose when you're on season, like the English channel can be camp channel or Warzone channel. I'd like to see that on server, so it's not so many like 4 tabs on the top.
You would like to see what?
So you can either no, you know how right now like it's Zone, Alliance, English channel, and then Strongest Warzone channel.
Yeah.
You know how you could swap between say camp channel and English channel and Warzone channel when you're on season. I'd like to
Yeah.
see that continue when you're back on server, so that
Okay,
you only have 3 chats at any time.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Because now go to AE when you go to Rainforest, what's going to happen?
We'll see. I don't know.
Because I have a bad habit of posting in the wrong channel at the wrong time,
Oh no.
at least once a season. Just saying.
This other team sucks. Whoops. Wrong
I've
chat.
never I've never done that.
Oh yeah, once a season, at minimum once a
Never.
season, I post somewhere, and it usually ends up being funny. But like, because I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't say too much that
I've
it's
never
gonna get me in trouble. But
accidentally told them which tower we're gonna focus on.
no, not that. It's usually
wrong
random
channel.
stuff. But
Oops, wrong channel.
That'd be a good way to juke the other team, though, right? You'd be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna focus
Yeah,
on the tower."
Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. We're really going after this target.
Whoops, wrong channel.
Oops, wrong channel.
It was just reverse psychology.
Yep. Nope. Guys,
well, I've
go
seen
that
someone
way.
post like a battle report in the wrong channel. Like, oopsie. Anyway, yeah, no.
Oh, I've seen people do that too. Like, how do you expect us to hit this guy, right? And post the battle report. I'm like, hey, wait, that's me. Oh, okay. Freak out.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah.
So there are a
Anyway.
few more things in the season adjustments that maybe we can hurry up through before we stop. Season combat bonuses and initial places in Land of Clash within the season have been adjusted. The only combat bonuses that I can think of for the Land of Clash might be in the jungle, but I also have not been to the wetlands, so I can't really speak about that. There's also adjusted the strength of fortress station troops and soldier ants colonies within seasons. So I think all these.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I think.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You were going to say exactly what I was going to say, but I think all these are alluding to the fact that they're going to be stationed with level 12 soldier ants instead of level 11 ones.
Yep.
Yeah, all I can say is imagine bots with the 12s.
Oh, no.
Yeah, everybody was saying the bots are too easy. Now they're going to be crying again.
I'm not going to wetland.
Yeah, I was gonna say reconsider your seriously think about your teleport situation and your the wetland ant boss bots with level 12 ants, and then make your decision.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the wild creatures have been adjusted on season maps. Adjusted the task and rewards related to season soldier ants within the seasons. Optimized the display for season hatch interface and optimized some text and art in season details. So I hope we can see some cool art about the assault soldiers as well, because they do look very, very sweet, and I'll never see them for the next year.
Well, you can see them. You're just maybe not using them.
See them marching at you and in battle reports.
Well, no.
See them all live when they hit my hill.
Yeah. You can go into the hatching pool or the hatching nest and look at what they all look like.
They're cool looking.
Yeah.
They do look sweet.
But
so I think that is all.
I think there's some interesting, cool stuff to look forward to for season. I think we were talking about it before when Soul said you might have been able to hit a level 9 node, but you might not be able to hit that now when you first jump. So I know for me, when you jump into a new season and I've hit and I'm like, what's wrong with me? And I'm looking at my troops, and meanwhile now you forget you're facing 12s.
I'll go for level 5 nodes if they change the clover.
Yeah, there'll be just some testing when you head into season what it all looks like. But yeah, that clover, I was super disappointed in my clover. So
what did you get? What did you go?
Oh, I didn't take it. I think it was a rainbow wing. And where's my picture? I have a picture of it somewhere.
No, it was you traded a rainbow wing and it wanted to give you a Murano plus bicolor, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Because that'd be useful.
Right.
That was my option.
S4 or S3.
Isn't that what you can get in a Supreme Mag next week?
Probably.
No,
I'm like, I was like, oh yeah, not getting my SSA.
MC.
But at least I hatched a bison. There's 3 ants I'm kind of looking for: an SSA, a bison, and a sly hunter. But I mean,
feeling you're
I'm
gonna be able to. I'm telling you, you're gonna go through the 9 per 10, and you're gonna send me a message that I'm able to 8-star an SSA after all this time.
Well, let's hope that someone's listening and that happens, because it would go very nicely in my troop too. I feel like half the time, most of my ants are placeholders for the ants I really want. But that's all right.
Char got a bison. I saw her picture upgrading that thing.
Well, I need another one now because it's only 4 stars.
I paid to have mine 6-star now.
Look at you.
Hmm.
It's working nicely in Dosa and the mines.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
It's really cool. I can beat like T10s with T9 Guardians.
You can probably beat me.
Yeah,
Just don't hit me.
that. I can hit you, but I don't know if I could beat you.
Never know.
You know what, though? I know for a fact I probably can't beat any of your marches, but I'd still hit you if I saw you on mines because it would be worth the 5-minute wait time just for the battle report.
Just to say hi.
Yeah, just like boop. But
Boop, boop.
that's all. Do we got any questions? Anybody want something else that we gonna talk about?
Ask your questions in chat or come on up.
Well, because I know there were some. You said I don't have it printed in front of me, but there were some optimizations that were coming that involved the mines. But I got to look for the picture.
Yeah, we got to do another backstage. Shane's right.
We do have to do another. Yeah. So when you look at, there's a bunch of bugs fixes coming for the mines too in this update.
You know what? Maybe we should do it after the update. Kind of chit chat about that for a bit, or at least
Yeah.
start that